it's a 70-year-old female who has come for checkup after 1 year. She is a known hypertensive on treatment. She had vomitings and tiredness. BP was never under control. Multiple visits were to casualty with weakness and was always having low potassium. What is the impression? What is resistant hypertension? Sir, it's a 70-year-old female who was on regular treatment, but never her BP was under control, and she had low potassium in her labs. Sir, it could be low potassium could be secondary due to persistent vomiting, sir.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir, and also like considering her hypertension not responding to treatment, maybe she could be having some secondary hypertension as the cause of her hypertension, sir.
Okay.
Sir, resistant hypertension means hypertension which is not under control with 3 antihypertensives, of which one being diuretic, sir.
The maximum possible dose, am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maximum possible dose. Okay. So let us proceed further.
Yes, sir. Sir, past history. She was admitted previously twice for CA tongue and viral fever. On examination, her BP was 200/110. Investigations, blood urea nitrogen was 44 mg, creatinine was 0.8, sodium was 144, potassium was 3. Previous admission shows potassium 3, but no other symptoms. Sir, bun is elevated.
Which one is elevated?
Sir, bun like urea is elevated, sir.
No, the upper limit of normal.
Okay, sir.
40 is the normal, 44 just above normal.
Right, sir. But potassium is low.
Yes.
Potassium low with high blood pressure generally favors diagnosis of primary hyperaldosteronism, sir.
Anything else that comes to your mind?
Hyperaldosteronism, we have to rule out, sir. Renal artery stenosis.
Yes. Anything else?
Previously CA patient, CA tongue admitted type.
What about Cushing syndrome?
Yes, sir. Cushing syndrome can also have low potassium with high blood pressure, but also Cushingite features would be there.
What are the physical findings in suspected primary hyperaldosteronism? Are there any findings?
Physical findings, sir. Primary hyperaldosteronism. Physical findings generally we see the patient's lab-wise there will be a hypokalemia, sir.
Clinically, symptoms and signs, anything particular that attracts your attention?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. So, proximal muscle weakness is one of the complaints.
Okay, sir.
So, proximal muscle weakness with the hypertension, suspect Conn's syndrome. Okay.
Conn's, okay, sir.
By proximal weakness, you can also get in Cushing syndrome.
Yes, sir. It can also come in Cushing's.
So, what investigation do you plan in this case?
So, to rule out, if we are suspecting hyperaldosteronism, we have to do renin-aldosterone ratio, sir.
Okay.
We can also look at ABG to see if there is any alkalosis, metabolic alkalosis. Sir, ABG showing pH of 7.46, a bicarb of 29.
What is pH 7.46 tell you?
Sir, it is slightly towards alkalotic side.
Yes, right.
So we have to look for bicarb and CO2. So bicarb being high, it favors metabolic alkalosis.
Yes.
CO2 is almost within the normal range only. So bicarb being high, it favors metabolic alkalosis. Patient was given IV fluids and potassium was corrected. Nicardia XL30 was added. Echo was having concentric LVH. BP was 170/90 after nifedipine. repeat ABG, pH was 7.4, bicarb was 28, chloride was 100, PCO2 was 36, potassium was 3.1.
Okay, so tell me some causes for metabolic alkalosis.
Sir, metabolic alkalosis usually nasogastric suction, over nasogastric suction, hyperaldosteronism could be one. Other than that, metabolic, sir.
Yes, so common is a gastrointestinal loss,
Yes, sir.
vomiting, diarrhea, whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Second group of complaints is mainly renal loss.
Yes, sir.
Renal loss, classical example is Conn's syndrome.
Conn's syndrome.
So, mineralocorticoid excess-like situation, like people who chew the licorice, licorice.
Yes, sir. Licorice. It will block. Yes, sir.
Another one is Liddle syndrome can mimic the same.
Yes, sir.
And is there a diuretic producing hypokalemic metabolic alkalosis?
Diuretic, sir. This one, sir. Metabolic acidosis, stazolamide.
What about thiazides?
Thiazides lose sodium and chloride in the urine, sir. Metabolic alkalosis can occur, I think, sir.
That's right. What about Barter's and Gitelman's?
Yes, sir. Bartter syndrome is like a loop diuretic. Gitelman syndrome is like giving a thiazide diuretics, where the patients will be having the channel blocks.
And if you give lot of bicarbonate, again you can have metabolic alkalosis.
Yes, sir.
And what is calcium alkali syndrome? Calcium alkali
Milk
syndrome.
alkali, sir.
Calcium alkali.
Sir, it's like taking milk with antacids, which
That's
favor.
right. Previous time was milk alkali. Now it's called calcium alkali syndrome.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And another situation is there is a volume contraction around
Yes,
a constant amount of extracellular fluid.
Okay, sir.
So that's called as constriction type of alkalosis.
Okay, sir.
Contraction type of alkalosis, where volume
Okay.
is becoming less. Last is intracellular shift of hydrogen,
Okay, sir.
producing serum hypokalemia,
Okay, sir.
causing both intracellular and hydrogen shift.
Yes,
And
sir.
then you can have renal hydrogen excretion.
Okay, sir.
You have what is villus adenoma?
Villus adenoma, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, villus adenoma is a tumor of intestine, where there will be excess secretion of VIP, I guess, sir. So there will be diarrhea.
So what is WDHS syndrome?
Sir, WDHS, sir.
That's right. Watery diarrhea, hypokalemia, ectodermia.
Okay, sir.
So can you get similar appearance in laxative abuse?
Yes, sir, we can get, sir.
We can get, okay. So tell me, how does this Conn's syndrome produce alkalosis and all?
Sir,
Of aldosterone.
yes, sir. Excess aldosterone will cause the excess activation of this ENaC channels, and also H plus exchanger present in the. Because of excess activation of ENaC channels, there will be excess loss of H plus and K plus in the distal collecting ducts, sir. So there will be loss of potassium and H plus.
Hydrogen ATPase activity,
Yes, sir.
and it increases activity of sodium potassium ATPase also.
Yes, sir.
So net effect is mineralocorticoid basically
Yes,
increase
sir.
the sodium excretion in the distal tubule.
Yes, sir.
It produces electrical negative charges
Yes, sir.
in the distal tubules.
Yes, sir.
So
To compensate for that, H plus and K plus will be secreted out.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right. So that's a technique of mechanism of mineralocorticoid producing metabolic alkalosis.
Yes, sir.
So what do you do next? How do you proceed?
So if you are suspecting a patient having the Conn's syndrome, then we have to screen, sir. Screening test would be either we can check for urinary potassium losses, or also we can check for renin aldosterone ratio, sir.
So serum aldosterone ratio was done.
Yes.
What is the principle behind it?
The principle is in primary, if we are suspecting primary hyperaldosteronism, there will be excess production of aldosterone directly from the adrenal glands. So there has to be renin suppression, sir.
That's right. How do you do it?
Sir, we will collect the sample usually in the early morning.
Yes.
Generally after salt loading, sir.
No, without spot loading you can do. Ask
Okay,
the patient to walk around.
Okay, sir.
Patient be ambulant.
Okay, sir.
In the sitting position, you take the samples.
Okay, sir.
So in this patient, this is the values.
Aldosterone value was 68.6 nanogram per deciliter. Renin
Normal
was
range. Normal range is 2.5 to 39.
okay, sir. So aldosterone was elevated.
Renin normal range is 4.4 to 46.
So renin is suppressed.
Suppressed. Normal
Yes.
ratio is less than 2.4.
Oh, okay, sir. So here it is elevated.
Elevated. So what is inference now?
It indicates primary hyperaldosteronism, sir.
So this is a value. Can you see?
Yes, sir. I can see, sir.
3 values are there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next part. So this patient underwent CT abdomen.
Okay, sir.
What does it show?
Sir, findings are not 1 minute, sir.
At the end.
Zoom in. An isodense enhancing nodule in the lateral limb of right adrenal gland measuring 15 by 12 mm.
Yes.
Sir, there is an adrenal nodule present in the right adrenal gland, sir, which favors Conn syndrome.
No, one more thing has come right top. Can you see?
Sir, where, sir?
Absolute washout.
Yes, sir, I can see, sir, I can see. Absolute washout 64% and relative washout 44%, consistent with adenoma.
So this absolute washout more than 60% is diagnostic of adenoma.
Okay, sir.
These are radiological criteria for that. And
so we'll be doing CECT, sir, not plain CT, sir.
No, CT with what's called adrenal protocol.
Okay, sir. Okay.
They give contrast, the adrenal protocol.
Okay, sir. Hepatic and renal cysts were present. Tiny non-obstructive.
Basically, we could not find much. That there is a left ventricular hypertrophy.
Okay, sir.
Okay, concentric. So, tell something about hypokalemia. What normal potassium level?
Sir, normal potassium level is 3.5 to 5 millimoles, sir.
Okay, that's normal. What are the cause of hypokalemia?
Sir, causes of hypokalemia could be GI losses or renal losses, sir, or decreased intake. GI losses can be due to vomitings or diarrhea. Renal losses can be due to excess aldosterone production.
Can they shift of potassium into the cells?
Sir?
Is there a chance that the potassium goes into the cells and produces?
Yes, sir, intracellular shift. That is like transcellular shifting of potassium, which happens in excess sympathetic stimulation, sir.
That's right. Any drugs producing hypokalemia?
Yes, sir. Insulin, sir.
Any other?
Theophylline, any beta-2 adrenergic agonist, caffeine.
What about the ECG changes of hypokalemia?
ECG changes wise, we will have QT prolongation, sir.
What's the first one to appear?
T wave, sir. This T, sir. First one to appear, sir.
Oh, that's right.
U wave, sir.
U wave or flattening of T wave.
Flattening of T wave, yes, sir. Flattening of T wave, then ST segment depression and QT prolongation.
Okay. So what are the symptoms and signs of hypokalemia? Are there any symptoms and signs?
Yes, sir. There can be paralytic ileus. There can be muscular pain, proximal muscle weakness.
Signs you will elicit.
Sir?
Signs you will elicit.
For hypokalemia, sir.
Yes.
Not sure, sir.
Hypotonia.
Okay,
decreased muscle power.
Okay.
Anorexia.
Okay,
and absent peristaltic sounds.
Okay, ups and downs.
And the complaint is always weakness, as in this patient.
Yes, sir.
Patient complains of weakness cannot walk.
Yes.
So you find this reflexic hypotonia and constipation is a complaint because of urticarias.
Okay.
So how do you work up a case of hypokalemia? ECG is taken. What else will do?
Sir, if we we'll take proper history, sir. If there are any GI losses, we'll probably think about GI losses causing hypokalemia. If there is any, if there is no GI losses, then we have to evaluate the cause of hypokalemia by calculating transtubular potassium gradient, sir.
Okay. There are some endocrine causes for hypertension.
Sir, endocrine causes, sir.
That's right.
Endocrine causes hyperaldosteronism, sir. Primary and secondary.
Not secondary, primary. Not secondary.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Secondary is cirrhosis liver and all, no?
Sir?
Yeah, secondary means just like cirrhosis liver or nephrotic syndrome. You don't get hypertension. Primary.
Yes, okay, sir. Cushing's can also cause hypertension.
That's right. Any other? What about pheochromocytoma?
Yes, sir, pheochromocytoma. Where there will be a synthesis of excess the norepinephrine, which will cause the vasoconstriction. There will be hypertension.
What about hyperthyroidism?
Yes, sir. Hyperthyroidism can also be present with hypertension, sir.
So, metabolic alkalosis, how many types are there basically?
Metabolic alkalosis, usually only one type.
Four types. No? So, when do you suspect secondary hypertension?
Sir, generally we suspect secondary hypertension in young age population presenting with hypertension, sir.
Young age means what?
Usually less than 30 years.
That's right.
If the patients are presenting already known hypertension patient, not getting controlled with the usual medications like we call resistant hypertension with the 3 antihypertensives at maximum dose, one being diuretic. So then also we will suspect for secondary hypertension, sir.
That's okay.
Other thing is any accelerated hypertension, sudden accelerated hypertension, we have to rule out renal artery stenosis.
That's right. So basically, age is very important. Anybody before puberty is always secondary.
Okay,
and
sir.
Less than 30, if there is no family history and if the individual is not obese, again suspect secondary hypertension.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Generally, we see every one of the parent being hypertensive. So, if the patient presents in around 28-29 years, should we evaluate for secondary hypertension if one of the parent is hypertension?
So you can, so that we don't miss it. But the yield is likely to be very low.
Okay, sir.
The acute rise over a stable hypertension is another indication, as you rightly said.
Yes, sir.
And the severe renal hypertension is another one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What's the clue for renovascular hypertension?
Generally, the risk factors wise, the patient will be females, elderly, with accelerated hypertension.
The one clue is if you give ACE inhibitor and
Yes,
if the
sir.
creatinine goes more than 50% rise,
Okay, sir.
that's an
Yes.
important clue for us.
Yes.
And when you find somebody having atherosclerosis evidenced by peripheral vascular disease or
Yes.
CVA or coronary disease, and
Yes.
if you can demonstrate a bruit,
Yes, sir.
or you may find one kidney is absent or one kidney is smaller than the other side,
Okay, sir.
more than 1.5 centimeter difference between the two,
Okay, sir.
then you may think there's a occlusion of the renal artery or there's a shrinkage because of renovascular problem.
Yes, sir.
And if you find the patient is coming with a flash pulmonary edema, that's a clue. That's a renovascular problem.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Again, when you find that hypertension is occurring after a certain age, 50, 60 years, then you may think that it's a primary renovascular problem.
Okay, sir.
How do you suspect a primary kidney disease?
Sir, I didn't get the question, sir.
Primary kidney disease, when do you suspect?
Primary kidney disease, having family history.
No, when you find the creatinine is elevated, first of all, you think whether it's kidney disease or not.
Yes, sir.
Number two,
We'll.
if you find microscopically there are sediments,
Okay, sir.
again you think, just
Yes,
like
sir.
SLE and so on, you can have.
Sir, you are asking about intrinsic renal disease, sir.
That's right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Then we have a lot of drugs producing hypertension. Can you name few?
Drugs causing hypertension, sir.
Hmm.
Steroids will.
That's
cause,
right.
sir.
Good, good, good. Any other?
Other drugs, any alpha agonists will cause hypertension.
Hmm. What about oral contraceptive pills?
Yes, sir. OC pills.
Anabolic steroids?
Yes, sir.
Chronic use of NSAIDs?
Yes, sir.
Can you name few chemotherapeutic agents which can produce hypertension?
Sir, I'm not sure, sir.
Tyrosine kinase inhibitors?
Okay, sir.
VEGF, vascular endothelial factor
Yes,
blockade.
that evaculimab.
That's right. Can you name any stimulant which can produce hypertension?
Stimulant cocaine, sir.
Cocaine, very good, very good. What about drugs used for transplantation?
Immunosuppressant, sir.
Not exactly. Calcineurin inhibitor.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's cyclosporine tacrolimus. Yes, sir.
Can you tell us an antidepressant?
Antidepressants like tricyclic antidepressants.
No hypertension.
Sir, tricyclic won't cause, sir.
Venlafaxine.
Yes, sir. Those belonging to SNRIs.
That's right.
Yes.
And then you have got this rheumatoid drug, leflunomide, that can produce hypertension.
Okay, sir.
Can you tell what is the malignant hypertension?
Malignant hypertension is like accelerated hypertension, which is worsening within hours.
And there is endocrine damage sometimes, no?
Yes, sir.
Like heart failure, pulmonary
Yes,
edema,
end organ damage. Yes,
retinal changes,
yes,
LVH, papilledema.
yes,
In those neurological problems, in those situations, again, we have to suspect, is there a secondary cause for hypertension? Endocrine causes you already mentioned, but
yes,
one common thing is commonly missed is obstructive sleep apnea. How to recognize it?
sir. Sleep apnea, sir.
No, that's right.
Sleep apnea, generally patients will be having some metabolic syndrome, and stop bank questionnaire will ask, sir.
Pardon?
Stop bank questionnaire, sir. Stop bank.
First thing you ask them is snoring.
Yes, sir.
And daytime somnolence. These two questions may give clue.
Yes, sir.
Then of course you can have a criteria.
Okay,
And then coarctation of aorta. Clinically, how will you recognize it?
sir, coarctation of aorta, clinically notching of ribs.
No, that's X-ray, no? When you examine a patient bedside.
Sir, clinically, sir, they decreased pulses.
That's one, yes.
Bruit.
Any association with any syndrome? Turner syndrome.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Turner syndrome, no?
Yes, sir.
And then when the patient is sitting up, leaning forward, what will you see between the scapula?
In the coarctation of aorta, sir.
And that's right.
We will see depression.
You may see collaterals in between the scapula, and it may be palpable.
Okay, sir.
There may be a bruit also.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and then when you examine the patient, generally you will find that upper limbs are well built.
Okay, sir.
But lower limbs are very thin.
Okay, sir.
These are important clues to coarctation.
Okay.
So what are the clues to the syndrome Turner?
Turner syndrome, like webbed chest, webbed neck, widely spaced nipples, syndactyly.
Turner syndrome, short female with webbing of the neck,
Yes, sir.
wide carrying angle,
Yes, sir.
amenorrhea,
Yes, sir.
lymphedema. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you know the important findings of, okay. So tell something on Conn syndrome.
Conn syndrome is a adenoma, adrenal tumor, sir, actually. So it will be secreting aldosterone inherently. It is more common in males.
Okay. Okay. So what are the types?
Cons type 2 types, I guess. Type 1, type 2.
One is adenoma and is idiopathic hyperaldosteronism hyperplasia. So
Yes, sir.
when do you suspect a Conn syndrome?
Sir, we suspect a Conn syndrome in a young age patients with presenting with hypertension with no family history.
What is the age
And
of
having-
this patient?
Sir,
What is the age of this patient?
this patient's age was 70, sir.
That's right. So it's not, age is not a thing.
Yes, sir.
So this is what it is. It's a triad.
Okay, sir. It's a hypertension, hypokalemia with metabolic alkalosis triad, sir.
Yes, but hypokalemia not always.
Okay, sir.
Proximal muscle weakness not always present.
Okay, sir.
So what will be differential diagnosis for this combination? Hypokalemia, hypertension.
Sir, renal artery stenosis.
Okay, what is the situation where you get normal BP with hypokalemia? You already mentioned, no? So
Yes, sir.
let's go to, why do you want to diagnose Conn syndrome?
Because the management is different, sir. We may have to go ahead with adrenalectomy also.
The mortality and morbidity is very high if you miss it.
Okay, sir.
Also, they may come with repeatedly with hypokalemia and alkalosis.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is the way you diagnose, no? You already
Yes,
mentioned
sir.
it. In outpatient setup, you seated the patient,
Yes, sir.
expected result, renal activity suppressed or aldosterone is elevated.
Yes, sir.
Do you go for the absolute value of the plasma inactivity or
Yes, sir. Sir, will we be stopping the medications also, sir?
which medication is stopped?
Any antihypertensives, ACE inhibitors and all if he is taking?
That's right. This patient was only on calcium blocker, you know.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. He was taking nifedipine.
No,
She was taking nifedipine.
only.
Yes.
So the increased plasma aldosterone concentration low and do not establish diagnosis. We have to demonstrate that the elevation of aldosterone is disproportionate.
Oh.
Okay. So
Okay.
routinely you don't always check for this test and all. If you have hypokalemia, metabolic alkalosis, spontaneous hypokalemia, hypertension, always think about Conn syndrome. That's the diagnosis.
Okay, sir.
But if you find that somebody has given some diuretic, it's not classical, then you go for these levels of renin and aldosterone.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Then, as you rightly said, you can give in case of overacting endocrine diseases, you always try to suppress it, and underacting hormone producing diseases, you stimulate it. That's the basic principle of endocrinology.
Mm-hmm.
So here the suppression test is by giving
Salt loading, sir.
saline loading. That's what exactly you said.
Yes.
IV saline loading or oral normal saline.
Okay.
And then you can measure it, and that's another way to suppress and see.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
When to test for cons, sir?
okay, so we already discussed that part.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll go it again. Hypertension, hypokalemia,
Yes, sir.
severe hypertension,
Yes.
drug resistant hypertension, even with 3 drugs,
Yes.
and hypertension with adrenal insulinoma,
Hypertension with sleep apnea. Hypertension with early onset familial hypertension.
correct?
CVA age less than 40 years. Hypertension with atrial fibrillation. Hypertension with first degree relative with Conn syndrome. Management will be aldosterone blocker like spironolactone or removing the tumor.
This particular patient had spironolactone and everything became normal,
Okay, sir.
but there is a tumor. It's up to the patient or to take the risk and proceed with surgery if required. He is 78.
Okay,
The
sir.
patient is opted for a conservative type of treatment.
Okay, sir.
Would like to continue only on spironolactone.
Okay. Sir, usually these adrenal incentilomas will be only unilateral, sir.
That's right. Here it also is unilateral.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir. Are they benign, sir?
This is benign.
Okay, sir.
This is benign tumor.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so this is this is not very common to detect it.
Okay,
Commonly they are missed.
okay, sir.
So only if you suspect you get this diagnosis. So when
Okay.
patients come with the vomiting and tiredness and the casualty and just sending them back is no good idea.
Okay, sir.
If there's a potassium low, you must always know why potassium low.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes,
we
sir.
must be very careful in diagnosing a simple hypertension
Okay, sir.
because it will be very beneficial to the patient to have proper diagnosis and treat rather than frequent admissions in the hypokalemic periodic paralysis, hypokalemia, metabolic alkalosis, patient vomiting, and
Okay.
if you're not getting under control, you
Yes,
keep
sir.
on adding the drugs. So you make a specific diagnosis, outcome is wonderful.
Okay, sir.
Anything else you want to ask, Vignesh?
Sir, one thing is, why vomiting, sir? Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh, patient had vomiting, sir. Is it related to this
Maybe related
primary?
to alkalosis,
Okay, sir.
don't know.
Alkalosis induced vomiting. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Maybe unrelated.
Okay, sir.
But she was visiting different hospitals with this tiredness episodically.
Okay, sir.
So everything cannot be explained in simple terms, but the crux of the problem, hypertension with the persistent hypokalemia.
Okay, sir.
So very good discussion, Vignesh. You did very well.
Sir, Bana, sir.
Pardon?
It's Bana, sir. Bana.
Bana. Okay, you did explain very well, Bana.
Sir, thank you.
So the problem is this is not very common. How many cases you have seen?
Sir, we actually had one patient, a 26-year-old male, presenting with 200 BP with retinopathy. But thing was, we didn't evaluate for primary hyperaldosteronism, sir. We only evaluate, patient didn't opt for the renin aldosterone activity. We did renal artery stenosis workup, it was negative. Then OP base, patient was discharged.
No. What's the potassium low?
Sir, potassium was not low, sir. It was borderline like 3.6, sir.
So you cannot say. What about
Yes.
what about ABG? Was there
Uh,
alkalosis?
no, sir. Alkalosis was there, sir. Yes, sir. Alkalosis was there. Bicarb was 28, sir.
Okay. pH was?
pH was, I don't remember, sir.
Okay.
I'm not sure, sir.
So hypokalemia is not a must.
Yes, sir. It's only in 40% of the patients.
That's right. Bana, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.